Hello and welcome to Enchantment of Eternities. I'm giving some quick thoughts on Sense8 Season 2, Episode 2, Who Am I? So, and for Sense8, I'm going to cover every episode, but instead, I'm not calling them reviews, I'll just call them thoughts on, because I'm not, usually when I do reviews, I put some, think about it for a while, and then write a huge script and do a huge thing, but for Sense8, I'm just going to, immediately after watching the episode, I'm just going to blabber out some thoughts on the top of my head, without giving it much thought. So, there will be spoilers up to the episode I'm talking about, but not beyond it, because I know it's a Netflix series, so everyone can watch it at their different paces. So these videos won't have any spoilers from future episodes because I haven't seen them yet. So I'm doing these reviews right after I watch the episode, or before, at least before I watch the next one. So please don't post any spoilers about the future episodes in the comments. So I'm going to talk about Season 2, Episode 2, Who Am I? So it's technically Episode 2 because they count the Christmas special, which apparently they renamed Happy Fucking New Year, as Episode 1 of Season 2. But really that came out several months ago, and it was just to give us a taste. So this is effectively the first episode of Season 2. Well, it's the first episode in this block. They released the entire Season 1 block. And I gotta say, I was much more impressed with this episode than the Christmas special, which you can find. I did a review on that Christmas special, and I was less than thrilled with that. And I think part of the issue with that is that they weren't really ready. Like, they had to rush it because they wanted to release it for Christmas and call it the Christmas special. And I get the impression from this episode, at least, I haven't seen the rest, so I don't know yet, that they spent more time editing it and working on it, because I read an article about how post-production on this show is ridiculously long because it has so many different locations and so many different storylines going, and I could totally see that. So the editing process of the show is much longer than the typical show, and I think they just weren't ready for the Christmas special and they kind of rushed it. At least that's what I'm thinking. This had much tighter, stronger feel and makes me more excited for Season 2. I do think, for a little bit, it does seem like they do the whole montage. Oh, we're all special feely. We can, a bit too much. I thought it worked in Season 1 a lot, but for the Christmas special, they really overdid it. And I got a tinge of a feel for that in this episode. But overall, I really thought this was a great episode. This is a great way to start the season. It's technically not starting this season, but whatever. But because I really like the scene towards the start of the episode where Leto is confronted by the reporter, and at the same time, what's his face? Van Damme guy. Hold on, just bringing up his Van Damme guy. Whatever his name is. Anyway, he was confronted by a reporter at the same time, so the two of them they sort of linked their confrontation, and all the other Sense8s, came and helped them, sort of just put the reporters in their place, but not by insulting them, but actually by impressing them and saying, look, this is, and making it clear this is how they feel, they're human beings, they shouldn't deserve to be sort of picked on, and just having this big insight. And I like that. I like how, because in the past, the Sense8s tend to come together just to fight, for to have this, the boxer, the fighter, the criminal, whatever. And it's good to see them come together for different reasons other than fighting, and to have this really good sort of speech that they give, and that really sets the record straight and impressed them, really. So I thought that was a great scene. And the end, and I gotta say, I'm getting a bit tired of Leto's storyline, though. I think it's kind of been the same since Season 1, and I need to so I'm just getting a bit sick of that overall. But although I did like that scene where he confronted the reporter. But for me, the best parts of this episode was, of course, Will's storyline. And I think that was my favorite parts of the premiere, or the Christmas special as well, because the Christmas special established Will has, how he's become like this drug addict in order to keep away, that evil dude or whatever his name is, and how ruined his life has become, how he's sort of become in this sort of battle of wits in him. And then the Christmas special, it sort of established the villain guy as having dominance over Will, and Will is sort of just on the run. And I think you needed that. You needed to have that set up, which makes this episode so much more powerful when Will works to, turn the tables on him. And I absolutely love the scene where the two of them were together and they were trying to guess where each other's were. Like, I think you're here, I think you're there. And we find out that, the villain guy was saying, you're still in Iceland, but then we find out that they were actually faking, like they had the the seagull actually, playing on the MP3 player to sort of throw off where they were. And I thought that was very clever, and it's actually very interesting because the guy was saying, when he was taunting him, it goes to show that he's not as powerful as he thinks he is or how he presents himself to be. I think he's just trying to be all intimidating. But when he was saying, we're all professionals, we fooled you, we're not really where you think we are, but you're a fucking amateur. But in real life, we actually find out it's the other way around, that he didn't fool Will. Will guessed London, and as we find out at the end of the episode, he was in London, where the other guy thought he was in Iceland and sent choppers, whatever, to retrieve him, but he was totally off base. They were actually in Amsterdam. Of course, the end of the episode is amazing. And this alleviates some concerns I had about season 1, which is almost a bit hard to remember because it was so long ago. Season 1 came out 2 years ago, really. But my complaint about the ending of season 1, or about the villain in particular, was I thought he was too powerful. Like, all she has to do is look at you and you're defeated. However, I was open to the possibility that it's season 2. I hope that, like, my biggest hope for season 2 is that they would address this and sort of change it and make it so some of the power has gone back to the Sense8s, and that's exactly what they did at the end of the episode. So I was very satisfied, because I think that's what the story needed. It's a tit for tat. They can't, like, I understand what they did with the Christmas special by having Will seem defeated, but they couldn't leave it at that. They needed to have the Sense8s have a win in order for the story to feel dynamic, and I think that's exactly what they did. It's not like they completely won. They still have a long way to go, but that was just such an awesome scene where Will infiltrated, like, that guy, where he thought he was in control, but he came in and they were just all walking around and saying, looking at all the stuff in the room, looking up on the internet, and they found out exactly his name, where they were. And I also like that he was right about London in the first place, because the guy was acting like, you're wrong. And it just goes to show how full of shit this guy is. So that was a very powerful ending. That was a great way to end the episode, with Will saying, you're not hunting, you think you're hunting us, but we're coming for you. And I remember seeing that in the trailer, and that was pretty exciting, but it was even better seeing it in context, and it was just amazing. Now, is it going to be as simple as that? Of course not. I mean, these villain dudes have still have more power and resources than the poor old Sense8s do. But it's got me excited to see what they're going to do for the rest of season 2. I'm really excited for that. That's my thoughts on this episode. I will be back here for my thoughts on the next episode when I watch that. So be sure to subscribe and keep up with all that. Thanks for watching.